and welcome everyone to Wanderlust in Wildemount. We are here, we are excited to be here and play. If I seem to have a lack of energy, it's the massive food baby from all of the tacos that I had like an hour ago. It'll be processed soon and I'll be ready to take on the world. So we're gonna go around, we're gonna say who we are and who we're playing. I'll start with myself because I'm playing Wendell Eustace Abernathy, Lucius Throckwaddle Hossenpfeffer IV of the Havisham Hossenpfeffers, nobleman, warlock, aspiring author, philanthropist. You know, I could go on, but I'm really full, so I won't. So I'll just throw it on up to our wonderful D20 coup de grace. How are you?
Yes, that's me. I'll be playing Harlan Flipcloak tonight. He's a divination wizard and a manipulator of time, which was showcased in the last episode, most definitely.
I feel like that's an accurate statement. It was definitely... There's some mad times. Not quite time stops. There was a speed run of something, and it was amazing. Speaking of amazing, Shiny Pilot, how are you?
Oh, hi. Yeah, I'm Shiny Pilot 26. I'm doing great. I'm full also from food, tacos and whatnot, and I'm kind of out of it. I'm waiting for it to go away so I can wake back up again, perk back up. It's not like, all the blood's gone. Anyways, yeah, I'm going to be playing Igor. He is a hunchback, half-orc butler to Wendell, and he has a problem where he likes stuff. So we'll see what we find here tonight in this place. Maybe he'll find some stuff he likes.
Mayhaps indeed. Someone who always finds stuff that she likes. Nuggetosaurus.
I like a lot of things.
You do.
Great. I don't like Mondays though. Especially this Monday because I sliced the shit out of my hand making stuff at work.
No.
Yeah, fun. But I get to play this game on Mondays. It's the only good thing about Mondays, and I'm very excited to see what Lamont has been up to while Harlan one-manned this dungeon. So I'm ready. Hal's not. I am.
Well, you know, sometimes your characters are just ready when you're not. I feel like Producer Trav may or may not be able to agree with this statement. You know, if he was not muted, that is, he would be able to agree or disagree. Until then, I will just say that he agrees. No? No, he's taken a vow of silence. He will now just pantomime the role of Lamont, and we can interpret said pantomimes in whichever way we wish.
Check.
Oh, or he could talk again, and we don't get to just play charades.
I'm good. I want a taco.
I was so excited for that taco.
You know, if I had to play charades with any of your characters, I feel like Lamont would be a good one to play charades with.
Lamont would play charades with you. I think he would participate in a spirited game of charades briefly until he got really overly mad and then made it weird and rage quit. Hi, I'm Producer Trav. I'm playing Lamont Quinlan, the Kalishtar former artificer turned rogue, who is everything I love about dark anti-heroes and genre fiction all dumped into one midnight black sack of crazy and just jumbled around and thrown in a river like a crazy bag of cats.
He's like 50 pounds of crazy in a 40-pound bag.
He's 10 miles of bad road, Lindy. Back to you in the studio.
Someone who is neither of those very bizarre objects that we just described would be our dungeon master. Deception check. How are you?
Now I'm feeling like 10 miles of bad road.
Oh no.
So yeah. Hi. Thanks for coming. I'm Deception Check. This is Mondays in Exandria, Wanderlust and Wildemount, where Harlan Flipcloak speed runs the entire game while everyone else watches. But that was just last week. Maybe this is the way we're going for the rest of the campaign, because, you know, he is a wizard of time, space, and manipulation. Nothing I can't take advantage of and curse him with. But, we won't go there because that would be giving away too much. Last week, our intrepid heroes, as they were about to head to bed, decided to, through the prodding of Wendell. I'm sorry?
I said heroes. That's a strong word.
And well, some try to be heroic. So they Wendell stopped them and said, "Hey, why don't we go check this place out while it's empty? I'm sure there won't be anything there for us to worry about." And so the group hopped on without Lamont, because he was off doing Lamont things, onto Harlan's carpet and flew the hour west to where the empty tower was that they saw on the horizon. Again, there were very little signs of human habitation. It looked like a repair job had gone awry or possibly been discontinued. But as they began to explore to see that the repair tools were rusted, the wood was rotting, they noticed stairs down to a new door below the tower. Once they entered, they were attacked by cultists and creatures of ill repute, maybe? I don't know. They were brains with beaks and tentacles. And they tried to give as many hugs as possible. But our intrepid heroes are not they do not love hugs, except by very specific people who hug them. So it's all about, consent. And the Grells were not asking consent before hugging, and therefore they had to be killed horribly. Harlan went with his haste spell and basically soloed everything, including the big boss who had great spells that I was looking forward to throwing into these people. He got one off, nearly one-shot Hal, and then died horribly. So the group ran around looking for things. They still haven't found the one thing they came here for, but they did save a young cultist named Young Fargo, the son of the innkeeper, Old Fargo. So we pick back up this evening with Lamont. Lamont, who has been out in the dark, he was on top of the building, brooding as normal, like a gargoyle from some Gothic temple that, you just don't want to look at straight because it might look back at you. And he sees his friends jump on the carpet and fly off without even paying him a mind. Lamont Quinlan, how does that make you feel?
Feelings.
You feel feelings.
Feelings are for normal men. I don't know. I've got to get back into character here. So because I'm a little perplexed. They left me behind, huh?
No,
Yes,
you disappeared.
To give you an idea, you arrived in Greenfast. This is a town run by or managed by Lord Vialis of Yellowcrest Manor, late of Yellowcrest Manor, who had disappeared after the killing of his family and servants. You flew over the small bay to land on the peninsula, almost 12 hours away in a city you call Greenfast. Yes. You arrived on the cover of night, and everyone was going to bed. That was the plan. So you snuck out to go brood because the dark of night is your brooding time.
That's true. The nighttime is the right time. Go on.
Exactly. And so that's when you saw everyone else fly away.
Okay.
Giving you more brooding fodder.
Yes. Now, I mean, what you see happen is he rises and watches them go off, and then with a flourish and a twirl of his cloak, disappears into the darkness in that direction. Now, it seems to me that Lamont did remember what they're after, and would go right for it. He's an operator, and he lives life by his own rules, and he assumes that they'll muck about. He assumes that they will
This is the one time.
soft shoe, and there will be monkey shines and goings on and foolishness, and he doesn't have time for any skylarkings or ballyhoo. And
everyone should have time for ballyhoo.
And under cover of darkness, makes his way across the rooftops towards this manse, where
it's an hour away.
So I'm an hour behind him, but again, I live life by my own rules, and if those rules include being an hour behind the party, that's
you
fine.
are a rogue, so using the action, dash, and movement rules, you run faster than almost anyone.
And I have a grapnel, by the way. And
You
so
do.
I'm able to traverse an urban landscape with deft efficiency. Thank
Right, but in
If
a
only
rural
this was
landscape,
urban.
in a rural
Oh.
landscape where you find yourself leaving
There's like
the
chickens.
confines of the very small village.
This is what happens every time they take Spider-Man to Europe. He has
Exactly.
nothing to swing off of, and there's usually a goat and a fence involved. Yes, well, let's do that then, because he attempts to traverse, the countryside under cover of darkness, and it probably doesn't go well.
Oh no, there is a rather well maintained road all the way to the tower. It just takes you an hour to get there. It's about 3 or 4 miles away. A good jog would make it faster. If you're going to sprint, I'd say it probably takes you half an hour.
I mean, I think we're going full tilt boogie.
Okay.
Sprinting. And he gives him a chance to get out and stretch his legs, and we're seeing night stealth attack Lamont in full glory here. Okay, this is its own action figure and its own style guide look here.
That's fair.
I just wanted to point that out.
No, I appreciate that.
Back to you.
The accessories of your action figures are very important to collectors.
They are. This is a soft goods cape and double jointed elbows and double jointed knees. Okay, so anyway, lots of action,
Nice.
Lots of kinetic boots splashing in the occasional puddle, double turnbuckles over low fences, parkour. There's a fair amount of parkour going on here.
Okay, some horizontal surface
that's up to you, I
parkour,
think.
but that works. That does really work.
Thatched roofs permitting.
There really aren't many on the way there. Like you're in the middle of fields with the occasional farmhouse, several hundred meters off down a pathway off the main road. It's very pastoral and beautiful.
And definitely during all of this parkouring and darkness covered, lightning fast travel, darkouring. Ooh. Somebody write that down and copyright that. We'll get on that after the show.
Okay. T-shirts.
Yeah,
already
T-shirts.
made.
I think I know what we're calling our new podcast. Anyway, so he's ringing in his ears is Howl giving him the business and giving him no quarter for his treatment of the young boy who's whom he interrogated, and then also particularly just how much it pisses him off that Howl is convinced that somewhere there is some beautiful winery with happy migrant itinerant laborers smiling as they unload
It's not like
a
she's been
truck.
there or anything.
Like she's been there, and there's something Wendell is doing has gotten into Howl's mind. She's not right in her mind, and she clearly can't. She's been compromised. Wendell's got to her, and this only pushes, the righteous indignation and black flaming sword of justice that he keeps not in the back of his mind, but right there out in front, like a horn. He's just on fire with it's bullshit. It's complete bullshit, and she should know it's bullshit. It's a bullshit story. These people are gone, and we've got to find out where. And that's the long game. And Howl is getting tripped up in the long game. And the real battle we're fighting here, which is there are souls at stake. And that's a cock and bull story if I've ever heard one, about some magical winery in heaven where all these people are smiling and having a day's work in the sun. What a load of horse shit.
I will remind you that when you met Wendell, now this is the kind of thoughts that percolate to the top as your multiple
going through
personalities.
these pastoral fields too. I mean,
Yes.
it's almost
please.
like
as the personality of your previous self and your current self kind of war, thoughts and memories kind of ebb and flow like the like the goo in a lava lamp. And so this one pops up, and you remember, that Wendell is the owner of the Hassenpfeffer winery, a rather prominent winery. And that it's not that much of a stretch that he could actually be sending people there. Now, what he does with them there, you don't know that, but there really is a winery, or there was at one point.
And I like that, because like that's when he starts getting mad at himself for, for not knowing what to believe, and that she's so convinced, and that it is plausible. This individual does in fact own a familial winery property. And I'd like to think that the voice that tells you that in your head is the voice of the artificer, which has a different quality than the voice of Lamont Quinlan, the rogue. Like there's a warring personality, like, yes.
And so I'd like to think that it's almost in a completely different voice, like a very exasperated old Lamont is very frustrated that you're not paying attention to things you already know. And new Lamont, or current Lamont, is just like, it doesn't matter. I know what's going on.
Right. He's a desperate, broken man who has already made up his mind what is going on here.
Perfect.
And is trying to put it together.
And so that's your state of mind when you arrive at the broken down tower. It is a jagged monument to avarice and greed in your mind. It looks like it was they attempted to repair it, but as you wander through the camp of the workers that were working on this, you believe you see rusted tools, you see rotting wood timbers that would be used to extend the tower to build higher with the stoneworks, repair the stoneworks. And then you just see a single gaping open archway going into the tower with no light coming from within. No sign of your friends.
How tall is the tower?
I'd say about maybe 30 feet at its tallest point, but that's just one side. The opposite side to that 30-point height is about 20 feet. It's collapsed in on itself for the most part.
Okay. Well, as tempted as I am to get up there, and I don't see a single sign of them, I want to go into the archway and take a look around.
Okay.
Inside.
When you step inside the archway, you see in the gloom of this darkened ruin, new stairs, stonework stairs going down about 15 feet to a brand new, well-oiled wooden door.
I'm going to listen at the door.
You hear sounds from inside, people rustling, one person moving quickly.
Can I peek in without opening it?
Give me a stealth roll. Let's see.
Okay. Well, that would mean getting into roll 20.
Normally, the very first thing you do when you join a roll 20 game, but I can roll for you.
Unless you're under duress, like me.
That's true.
And spend hours in hair and makeup, like me.
Yes.
Understood.
We know your hair is a very important aspect of your aesthetic.
Well, it is, Lindy. It is. It's a big part of, what I bring to, my role here as Lamont Quinlan here as I get into... Perception, you said?
Stealth.
Stealth.
Yes. You're attempting to open the door quietly.
Yes.
And you rolled a 23. The door slides open very quietly. Before you are 15 feet more of new stonework going down into a well-lit cavernous room below. And you see two people moving. It's Igor pulling along a young man who's bound and gagged.
Didn't he not make it?
He's alive. Just unconscious.
Yeah, a young man who's bound and gagged.
It's young Fargo.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, come along with me, and you'll see a world of pure temple imagination.
I stay and listen for a little while. I don't head right in. I'm listening. I'm listening to see if anybody's. Is it completely deserted outside, and inside is the only activity?
There was nothing outside. You look like it's just a front for the most part because everything out there was rusted and worn and rotting.
Right.
But inside you see new stonework. It's where the door was well oiled. That's why it was so easy to open it without making a sound.
Gotcha.
And I imagine Igor's dusty, dirty, covered in a little bit of blood.
Yeah.
You know, just all the thing that comes with it. And he's
Oh,
dragging this guy.
In this room, after your eyes slide off of Igor and the young cultist, you see the bodies of two strange creatures. They look like the remains of brains, but they have a beak like just pointing out of the front and long, like mucousy tentacles hanging from below. They're torn and bleeding on the floor, as well as the remains of 4 men dressed exactly like the young man with Igor, also horribly damaged and dead.
I enter the hall, gently close the door behind me, and move to inspect the dead creatures and rifle the pockets of the dead men without Igor noticing me, ideally.
Okay. Well, young Fargo definitely doesn't see you. And Igor would have to roll. I mean, Igor's passive perception won't see you, and I don't think he's looking for anyone. So let's just say you could do that. You step up to the corpse nearest you, which is right there at the base of the steps. You see that it is slashed with sharpened weapons. You imagine it was either Howl or possibly, Igor fighting.
Don't forget the teeth box. What's the teeth box?
Oh, I'm sorry. There is one right in that same pile who looks like it was eaten by a feral creature of some sort. And you see blood on the face of Igor from his mouth down. I forgot about that.
All right. I quietly stand. How's the light in here? It's
very good. I mean, if Igor turns and looks directly at you, there's nowhere you can hide.
Right. I want to approach Igor without him hearing me, and I just want to be standing behind or next to him out of nowhere.
Okay. That you do. Do you alert him that you're there?
No, I just stand there.
Okay.
That's not creepy. Well, Igor will keep doing his thing, and remind me, GM, we're bringing young Fargo. Was that to bring him around to the group, or was that to bring him up here and wait? I couldn't quite remember.
I don't believe that was ever specified specifically. I think you were just bringing him out from the catacombs below.
All right, well, he's not going anywhere anytime soon, but I'm going to hold on to him just in case. Eagle will take him and he'll throw him over his shoulder.
Okay.
Since he's not dragging him anymore. And, not getting his feet dirty. And I guess I'll start walking down the corridor. Headed back towards the group. Oh, hey, hello, master.
Oh, yes. Is there any plaid or flannel or anything on this guy over Igor's shoulder? Well. Young Fargo.
He's alive, master. He's,
good.
He's not too good. But,
That's good. His
alive.
father will be pleased to hear that. I will just
I
spare
was
the
worried
dying. Just a little boop of spare the dying on him just to be sure. Boop.
He was hanging around 3 other nasty fellows, and
right.
they're dead right now. Me and Al, we killed them.
You came up a different way. And yes. Wendell's like, they came up through this way when they went down through that. So he's like, how?
And then
no, Al.
The dark shadow that is Lamont kind of just walks up.
Hey.
Oh, hello, Lamont. Caught up.
How
I
did you
did.
find us?
Followed all the noise.
Oh, we did make a lot of that.
There was many explosions, the fireballs. Yes.
Not to worry, the perimeter's secure. What's next?
Oh, well, we handled
Well-
we're mostly Harlan handled the cult here, but we're investigating now. So if you find anything suspicious, I suppose, let everyone know.
And I rescued this here boy.
Oh yes, he's the innkeeper's son. This is young Fargo, the innkeeper's old Fargo. We're going to reunite them.
Was he kidnapped?
Well, misguided.
It was definitely working with
He's hanging out
guys.
with the wrong crowd. These were murder cultists. They were sacrificing people. It was terrible.
Let's just say his friends won't be coming to his wedding anytime soon.
Well, you know, when the mind is vulnerable, it can be talked into all kinds of strange things. I'll take care of Fargo. Spread out, look around. I want to ride back this time.
All right.
So that's
Where's
that
Hal?
conversation.
Yeah.
We're gonna leave that. We're gonna leave at that point.
I'm like trying to pass Lamont. Like Lamont, I want to talk to see if Howl's up there.
Actually, Lamont says, "Where's Howl?" And then the camera moves down into the crypts where Howl is alone and heavily injured.
Oh no.
What are you doing, Howl?
She's gonna, because there were places that we did not explore, she's gonna go down this brain. This path. Thank you. See what's back over
As you
there.
get to the edge of that turn, you see again, just mutilated bodies decomposing. You look up and you could see some of the shafts from the temple room that lead down. So you know these are one of the 4 body drops that are in the temple.
I am gonna. And you said there's 4 of them.
There's 4 well, when you were upside the temple, you saw there were 4 holes going down, and so far you found
3.
3 of, well, you found 2 others, and then in this space you look up and you see there's 2 holes in this cavern.
I see. Okay. I am going to, because I don't think Hal has the patience to bury all of these people, all these remains. I think she'll kind of take a knee and she will read whatever last rites Bahamut has and like do a blessing, move to the next pile, and she's going to do that for all 4.
Oh, cool. Roll me 4d100.
Oh, okay. 5, a 64, a 65, and a 13.
You know what? I'm going to, for 5, since that is below your level, not your paladin level, but below your level, I will give you this. On the very first one that you do, as you kneel and recite the rites that you believe are right for this particular situation, you feel a warm, loving, and friendly but fierce presence envelop you. Your eyes go dark for a second, and then a bright figure appears before you. It is the head of the Platinum Dragon himself, looking at you.
Hey, Bahamut.
Love how Hal keeps accidentally
Accidentally, like she like every time it's happened, it has been accidental. Am I doing this right? Is this okay?
You are doing well enough. You have brought rest to the darkest places that you have gone. I am proud of you.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
You have to know, many in my service play at being righteous. But those who have seen and done darkness are sometimes the ones that I find to be most righteous when needed, as you have shown.
Oh, I appreciate the compliment, I think, but I'm the farthest thing from righteous there can possibly be.
Dragons don't exactly smile, but you can kind of feel a bit of humor in this particular visage of your god.
Shows teeth.
It's a very ghastly thing, but you understand what it means.
Yeah.
It's like, whether you believe it or not, I believe it. And for this, I give you a boon. You will find it when you need it most.
Can I ask you a question before you leave?
Yes.
The last time I spoke to you, I said a name.
Yes.
I don't think it's going away anytime soon. What would you have me do?
Ghosts from our pasts. And you imagine when he says our, he's not meaning people are reappearing. Poor choices that were made may return to haunt those who had no bearing in their making. I do not wish you to learn more of this, but you need to stop whatever is happening.
How am I supposed to do that if I don't know what's going on?
Fades away.
Oh, I'm just so glad
Fucking
that,
gods!
that Bahamut is on my patron side. We're like, yeah, no, we gotta stop this. Woo!
I think Hal lets out like a frustrated just ugh.
And you just
kinda-
hear a chuckling dragon fading into the distance.
And under her breath, like she is well aware that he is a god, but she's like, fucking dragons. And she gets up and moves to the next pile and does all the rites and
Okay.
everything. And then she
All right.
will go upstairs.
You'll be there for a little while.
Yeah.
Let's check in with Harlan. Your lethargy has finally faded.
Very good.
What do you wish to do now that you are the speed of a normal mortal?
Yes. While everyone else is distracted with their own little things,
Mm-hmm.
Harlan's going to pull a small twig out from his coat,
Ah.
place it in his palm, and with a few magical words, it begins to float in the air. And hopefully, it shows me where this book is.
Where are you? What are you casting? Okay. You
I don't-
cast locate object.
It's within 1,000 feet. I don't know.
Okay. You sense, excuse me, that came out of nowhere. You sense that it is near. You sense that it is in that direction.
All right. Well, then I will begin to follow that way.
All right. So then you come around the corner and you see Lamont has joined the group. Wendell has a young cultist with flannel, wearing flannel
Igor.
and his cultist robes. I'm sorry, Igor. And Wendell is
Wendell's
there as
going
well.
towards the store. He's trying not to engage with Lamont right now.
Okay.
Because he realized we haven't been in this room that was off of the first room in this dungeon that we went to.
You see Wendell is heading in the same direction you are.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
What do you do, Harlan?
So I'll move up this way, and then Wendell's going to this door here.
Bloop, bloop, bloop. Yeah, he's
Yep,
going to the
You're
door.
both moving that direction. Lamont, you see Harlan just walk past you, covered in blood. Absolutely covered in blood. Smells of brimstone.
Fine.
And he just bypasses you, following Wendell.
Oh, there you are, Lamont. And I'll just move.
Okay.
Ah,
Red.
you caught up. Oh, there you are.
Okay. Wendell, you go to that door. Do you open it?
Yes, I open it, and if it's trapped, bugger.
You want Igor with you or no?
It's whatever. Igor can do it. Wishes right now.
The door opens.
Oh, it's not trapped. Good.
Bundles of papers, diagrams, scrolls, and books lie scattered on a desk and across the floor of this room, which is lit by 2 glowing crystal spheres on a shelf along the northern wall.
Well, the desk seems to be the place to look.
Okay.
Does it?
You've got a table to the right. You've got the desk. You've got scrolls and stuff all over there on the ground.
Is there anything obvious right off the bat, like evil,
What would you
culty book? Well, the books that we're looking for.
There's a lot of evil, culty looking books. There's tomes
Fantastic.
and dark scrolls and things splattered in like dark liquid. It might be dried blood. Like this is, it looks haphazard, like a broken mind was learning things here.
Right.
For a moment, Harlan, you don't have to roll an well, Lamont's investigating. What are you investigating, Lamont?
Sorry, that's a party foul. That's a D&D foul. I rolled a check without being prompted to ask once. For those of you playing along at home, hi. Yeah, Lamont is carefully casing the joint.
Okay.
To catch up on what the deal with the cult is, what they worship, and to try and find what we're here to look for.
Okay. Unbeknownst to you, that has already been discovered, but you still have a chance to look for yourself.
You can still learn about the death cult.
Right, with Igor, where Igor is standing, when you step in, you see to the right of you are several tables full of scrolls and things, and to the right, to the left, there's a desk. So there's many things for you to look at. I'll tell you what you find in just a second. Harlan, your locate object is pointing you directly at a singular book along the northern wall on a desk. It is surrounded by many other paraphernalia of things, but this particular book is glowing with your locate. Wendell is looking at the desk in front of him and is finding, actually found a spell book.
Oh, Harlan, I found a spell book.
Right there. Full of quite interesting things.
Harlan, spell book.
Oh. I'll go and grab it. Yes. Take a look through.
Anything of use for you?
Maybe. I'll have to have a deeper look at it later.
Let me know if there's any ritual spells or anything in there.
Of course.
Trying to collect a few.
I'll tell you if I find something.
Certainly.
You see a couple scrolls there that look magical. Notebooks on a large ritual that is meant to bring something across from a faraway plane. Do you give me an investigation yourself?
Both of
How
us?
by this time you can start
What of
moving
us?
back up. Harlan, do you pick up the book you know is the one you're looking for?
Yeah. I'm just trying to think. I'm going to try to slip it away. Although, I'm going to be really bad at that.
Well, when you walk over there and you're looking at this book, you notice that the globes affixed to the wall look like they're magical as well.
Magical lighting. How fancy.
And did you roll an investigation, Wendell?
Oh, I can. I rolled... Oh, I'm not good at investigation, but I actually rolled decently. 17.
You open up the drawer, one of the drawers on the desk. Most of them are just empty or full with refuse, torn papers and wild notes and things. But in that particular desk, you find in that drawer, you find 2 golden medallions worth 125 gold pieces each. And on top of the desk, you find a box that the lid opens to find a chime. It has the feel of magic about it.
Harlan, I found some magical wind chimes.
Wind chimes.
Something like that. Door chime, wind chimes.
Let me have a look at them. And
Yeah,
I'm going
there you are.
to cast a spell.
Dispel?
No.
PowerPoint.
Cast a spell.
Oh, cast a spell.
Yeah.
Okay. What is the image you're creating with your PowerPoint? I love that.
I want
Nature
to
image.
change the name of the book to some like martial like some book on strategy.
War on Two Fronts, a treatise on surviving the siege.
And then
Okay. Now, are you trying to stealthily cast that, or are you making it look like you're casting detect magic or something?
Yes, I'm trying to make it look like I'm trying to identify the chimes.
Okay. All right. Now,
Well-
you do know
Um,
that Wendell is a magic caster himself,
know.
with some of the same magical abilities that you have.
Mhm.
Wendell, are you even wondering about? Do you notice are you looking
Well,
to see anything like
I
that?
have seen him cast detect magic / especially identify a lot.
Okay.
So if it looks different than his typical I cast identify, then yeah, he'll be like a little bit like, what?
Okay.
Probably
I
look
believe this might be a deception insight roll here.
great.
And I mean, I would give you advantage, Harlan, but the knowledge that Wendell has of from the close work you've done together, I don't think I can give you that.
Well, we're about to figure this out.
Okay.
I rolled an 18 insight because I'm proficient.
Okay. You know that Harlan is uncomfortable right now. And he just cast a spell that wasn't what you expected. So while you two think about that, we're going to go to Lamont Quinlan. And Igor, since you're both in the same room there. Oh, and Hal
Okay.
Hal arrives carrying the urn that was found earlier in the
How big
session.
is it? Do I feel like two-handed or can I one-hand it?
For the most part, the ashes of a normal human do not take up that much space, and so it's not a very big
Oh, so
urn.
okay.
It's
I
still
did-
a good size urn,
It is
you
the
know, but
family.
it doesn't weigh a lot.
Okay,
Yeah.
I was thinking it was like a big ass thing. but
No.
no. Okay, then yeah, I've just got it
Just
very
like 3
carefully.
people's
Just,
worth.
yeah, very carefully
Four.
tucked
4.
in the crook of my arm, kind of thing.
Okay,
With
you feel the
Move.
hum of. Well, no, we dispelled the magic on it. I
no.
believe.
Mm-mm.
No, okay.
We
You
We're
haven't
feel
gonna
touched
take it to a holy place, a temple.
you feel a bit of magic around the urn. It's nothing. You know, you know the feel of bad magic because you've been hit by enough of it. This doesn't feel bad. It just feels like something like stasis. So
Yeah, Harlan and I.
you see, Lamont has arrived, and Igor has young Fargo.
Oh, good of you to finally join us, Lamont.
We found him up in the other way. He walked down there to say hi. The Spaniards are getting awfully heavy, and Window and Arlen went to buy to look at stuff. So I'm going to place him on the table over here, and Igor's going to walk over to this table, and he's going to brush all the stuff off and just throw the guy on it.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
Books, scrolls, and little urns and ink pots fall to the ground.
He's lucky we didn't kill him. He used to hang out with better people. needs better friends.
I mean, he's a murderer.
He needs better friends.
We should take him to the authorities.
What if we bring him to his father and his father takes him to the authorities?
I doubt a father would do that to his son.
I wouldn't know.
Neither would Hal.
Yeah. Maybe.
I will say this, Hal. You've been involved in martial training and recruit training in your own time, more so than Igor would have. What you saw when you came upon young Fargo in the deepest, darkest parts of the catacomb looked like he was being trained.
Okay.
So you might imagine that there is a slim chance that he has not been directly involved in any killing or rituals, but that would have to be discovered.
Okay. And I mean, even if it by some fluke he turns out to not be a murderer, he still aligned himself with a bunch of fucking murderers. So
I don't care.
you don't care that he was fine with that, and if we let him go, he could go back to doing that just with other people.
I'm not worried about it.
Can I ask a question?
Hush, Frank. I see you.
Just find this an interesting line of thought to come from Hal.
Yeah.
Yes, Lamont.
She's trying to be better, okay?
Hal,
What?
have we found the thing we're here to find?
I don't fucking know.
We found Fargo Jr.
I found an urn of dead people, which I think is something that we were looking for.
Yeah.
To put that girl to rest.
Looking for a
no,
lot of things.
Hal didn't. No, she did. She saw her in the bookshop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. To put that chick to rest, but like, I didn't realize. I mean, I know there was something about a book, but
That's
I
what
don't
was
read
wondering.
well.
The book. Have we found the book we're here to find?
I
If
don't
there's-
know. Ask
there's
the
a
book people.
I'm sure Wendell would have found it by now. If not Harlan, they're pretty book sniffy.
I mean, I
I could
found a
find one.
scroll.
Book sniffy.
Well, what if young Fargo here knows where the book is?
That is a great idea. We should wake him up and ask him.
Sounds good to me.
It's under. From what I saw, he's a lackey. The leader of this cult would not have told him where his sacred book is.
Well, maybe he would have. How we won't know until we ask him.
No,
Yeah,
I
we
know
won't
the way
know
these
until
things
we
work.
ask.
I mean, don't bad guys like tomorrow.
No, because y'all's idea of asking him is to torture him and rip off his fucking fingernails and
Oh, we could totally do that too.
no.
I wasn't going to start there.
Or
Really?
No, really.
Yeah.
end there maybe,
Mhm.
but not start.
I'm confused with all these directions. And
Just
what do
let
you
him
want me?
leave him alone. Let him stay there. Where's Wendell and Harlan?
They went this way, and he
Okay.
steps up to the top step and points towards the other doorway up here. Ping.
Go ask them if they found the book.
All right, as long as you keep an eye on that Fargo, we don't
Yeah,
want him
he's not going anywhere.
sleepwalking or
I
anything.
got him.
All right.
Ask about the book, Igor.
Will do.
Lamont, your original investigation check led you to see that there's strange, like there's a couple burning lamps over here and woodworking tools and some strange symbols that seem to be being created in that area.
I turn my back to Hal and investigate these tools.
Okay. When you take a look at the tools themselves, they are just normal woodworking tools. Matter of fact, there's a very good set, a very nice set of woodworking tools. Perhaps one of the cultists was originally a woodworker or left that profession and has been charged to make these crude wooden versions of holy symbols, except the thing that's on it is a strange creature with a bulbous head, very long arms, tentacles for legs, and multifaceted eyes in that bulbous head looking out with menace It's a very strange thing.
Can I gather up the nice tools? Are they in like a leather set? Can I bind them up and affix them to my person?
Oh, yes, you can pick up easily, not a problem.
All right, I gathered them up and bundled them up and affixed them to my belt. As for the crude wooden symbols, I take one and I approach Hal, holding it up. Does this look familiar to you?
Hal, it looks
No.
just like the statue in the chapel behind you.
I mean, it looks like the thing back there, but no.
This is the thing they're all so excited about?
I have no idea. Harlan came in here, fucked the whole place up, and like the rest of us just kind of picked off the leftovers. Like, I don't know what's happening here. All I know is there's some prisoners in the basement. We got to get out. There's
That
this
she
prisoner
definitely didn't
here.
forget about.
I totally didn't forget about, which I definitely fucking forgot about. There's some prisoners in the basement. We've got a prisoner here. Like, I don't fucking know. Igor!
All right, we'll cut.
As she calls to Igor,
Mhm.
Lamont breaks and heads for where he. I want to go downstairs. I want to
Okay.
go to the prisoners.
Save the
Okay,
prisoners.
you head there. We'll head over to Igor for a second. I'll come back to you. Igor, you've just arrived to ask your master about the book, and Wendell and Harlan are having a bit of a stare-off.
There's some awkward energy in the room at this
Yes.
moment in time.
Did I interrupt an intimate moment, Master?
No, Eagle. No.
Oh, sorry. I thought you
What did
something
you?
was up.
What did you need?
I was looking to see if maybe you found the book. We were debating waking up.
And
Fargo
Wendell doesn't look
Jr.
at Igor when he's talking to Igor, because Harlan's looking uncomfortable, which is weird, because Harlan doesn't typically look uncomfortable. Really
Oh,
unlike.
There are several books of interest in here, Igor, but it doesn't appear that we found the one we're looking for.
Oh, well, you want me to wake up Fargo Jr.? Maybe he knows something.
Perhaps.
Or maybe the prisoners down below know something. There could have been a lot of monologuing.
They might know of another place where they could keep this book.
There was a sheet with a bunch of bones on it and inscriptions. I'll bet you the books are under the
Don't
bones.
touch that sheet, Igor. Don't
What if the books are under the bones? Master?
touch it. We'll go look at it in a while. Don't anything. What have I told you about touching weird cultish magic runes?
You told me never to touch it.
Well, then
unless
don't
you were
touch
present.
them. Yes. No, even just never touch them.
Fine. Well,
yes, you should help the prisoners. I didn't even know they were prisoners.
Yeah, we found a couple down there. Things happened pretty quickly. Hey, killing Fargo's friends and then bringing Fargo up here. We're pretty
Great, go
heroic.
give the prisoners some water and food, Igor.
Igor, as you're looking at both of them, you see on the wall what would normally be torch sconces, but these are two sparkling, glowing orbs. They're magic, and they're just sparkling along the wall.
Can it be like the thing where you're like looking at somebody you're talking to, but something really interesting is going on behind them, so you kind of keep like looking past them?
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
literally, Harlan is right
and
there,
Wendell
and there's
doesn't
like
notice
lights on
because he's
either
not
side.
looking at you.
Oh, right. I will go talk to them here.
And if these two are still staring at each other, Igor's gonna nonchalantly slide by.
Okay.
Harlan,
Oh, it's not staring, but it's definitely noticing Wendell staring.
is everything all right, Harlan? You seem uncomfortable. And yes.
Now, as you're answering that question, I need to know, Igor, what are you going to do?
I'm gonna grab them. They're shiny and they're
Okay.
little orbs. I'm gonna grab
Second
one.
question. I need to know where everyone is standing.
I think
exactly where you're standing. Igor is right in front of the desk. Harlan was in front of the desk. You still there?
I
You're in front of the desk as well.
I'm back to the book, kind of looking over at Wendell at the door.
And Wendell's like 5 feet
And
from
Wendell's
Harlan,
Wendell's in
so-
front of the main
Yeah.
desk, and then there's the small little table against the wall. That's where Igor is, and that's where Harlan was, because that's where that book was.
Mhm.
Okay.
Ooh,
Igor
pretty.
grabs the first light off the wall. Roll dexterity saving throws, please, Harlan and Igor.
I
Oh,
don't need no
not
dex
me?
save.
Not Wendell.
oh,
Wendell, you
That's
see
there.
the floor disappear below them, as if a hinge and a switch had been thrown, and it just went. Thoop, and you see them just.
oh no.
Oh, Harlan.
I would like.
Can we Scooby do it?
I would like to. Hold on. What does saving face do? Let's see. What does this do? That's not going to help. Never mind.
Oh no. I mean,
Grab on
if
to
the
be
saving
Harlan.
throw is like 8, it might help, but it's not gonna.
You fall 20 feet and take 7 points of damage
Ah!
as you land in a cell.
Igor too.
Yes, both of you.
What the hell was that?
Oh, we're back. No, we're
Are
back.
you two all right down there?
We're back. We're back. Igor's like laying on his back, rolling a little bit.
And you lose control of the spell.
Hold on. No, I'm going to saving face that.
Oh, you're going to saving face that? Okay.
Two.
Bonus to the roll equal to the number of allies you can see within 30 feet of you, which is only 1.
So 9.
Come on.
Okay, I'll give you 2. I'll give you 2 as Wendell is laughing, looking down the shaft, and that puts 2 in sight. How about that? That gives you a 10. Okay. I'll let you keep control of your spell.
Oh, sir, it hurts down here.
Are you all right down there?
Oh, my back hurts. Oh.
Do I hear all this?
Yes,
I'm
you
like-
hear something slam open, and you hear 2 people go, ah! Wilhelm scream, basically. And then a
God
thud.
Damn it. I'm gonna.
And probably Wendell laughing. I don't know. Is Wendell
I've-
laughing right now?
No, he's
Oh,
not.
okay.
Well, Harlan's his friend. And I mean, Harlan's
How's-
acting suspicious
Yeah.
as a friend, but you know, it's his friend who would never lie to him.
Hal's got the urn in one hand, and then she just one hand like sack of potatoes Fargo.
Okay.
If you don't
And,
mind, I'm just gonna stay up here.
Yeah, she's gonna head over. What is
All right.
going on?
So as you walk over to that corner, Lamont, you've now made it into the large, dark chapel. I will describe it to you since this is your first time visiting. It's like Disney World for evil. This huge space has the appearance of a chapel. Its walls carved with unnatural imagery. A large alcove to the south contains a huge purple stone statue of the same creature you saw represented in these small wooden carvings, except much more realistic and disturbing. 2 bodies are draped on the altar in front of the statue. They have been ritually dismembered in quite gruesome ways, with blood pouring off of channels into a hole in the floor. One side of the room, you see a door open behind a column. Behind the statue, you see another door open going into a room beyond that. And to either side of the room, you see alcoves with black bottomless pits associated with them.
I take a moment to regard the statue and observe it carefully, and then I turn and where are these prisoners that Hal was talking about?
You would not know. She says they're below, but you don't know where below is.
They're not in here. This isn't below.
You don't see anything, no. But you do see 2 doors, one behind a column on the left side and one behind the statue on the right side.
Well, we got to start behind the statue.
Okay. You head behind the statue and find a library. It's a small, dark chamber with a round table and a bookcase stuffed with books and scrolls, many of them old and worn. It seems to have already been gone over. Many of the older, less interesting ones are just tossed to the floor. The table seems like it had something on it. The dust and the scratches on the table seem to be the size of a base, equal to maybe the urn that Hal was carrying.
Mm-hmm. They've been here. I turn and go through the other door.
Okay, the other door, you find the naked corpse of an older, refined gentleman who has been horribly burned and killed.
Nice.
That room leads into another small area where you find 2 empty chests and stairs going down.
Take the stairs down.
Okay, you take the stairs down. You find yourself now in rough-hewn, like, corridors. They have been quickly and easily chiseled through. The passageway is a warren of paths that go in different directions. As you move forward through the darkness, you find a crossroad. One way splitting off to the left, and a single pathway going to the right, and a pathway going forward. Which way would you go?
To the right.
You go to the right, and you walk down a long corridor until you find 2 piles of desiccated and dismembered corpses. You look up and you see the holes that you found in the temple, in the alcoves below. You feel like you should get a feeling of unease here, but it seems like someone has consecrated these bodies recently. And while it is horrible what they have gone through, you believe that perhaps their souls have found peace now.
Excellent. I go back and take the middle path.
Okay. You take the middle path, and that leads you into what looks to be a training room, but on the right is a cell. And in the cell, there are 4 people that are in terrible shape, looking at you pleadingly, wondering if you're the man who will finally kill them.
I want to telepathically speak to the strongest looking, the most able looking one.
None of them look very able. They have been beaten. They have been stripped of all possessions other than their small clothes. They are covered in refuse, detritus, and dirt.
I say out loud, "Can you walk?"
They nod, as if afraid to speak.
Let's stand up. We're getting out of here. Is the door unlocked?
No, it is not.
Does it look like it'd be easier to pick it or just kick it open?
You look at this and it is well made. You don't believe kicking it would do anything other than hurt your leg.
All right, I want to pick it.
All right. Roll me a thieves' tool check.
I don't think I've done that on here yet. I don't know. This might be the first lock he's picked that I can remember. Where is that?
In a while, at least.
Yes.
So does that mean that it's down in my items?
It's in your tools.
Oh, my tools.
Left side, bottom. Proficiencies, tools.
Okay. We didn't do this. All right.
Okay. Roll me a d20.
Okay.
Yep, it's not on your sheet.
I love rolling d20s.
Just roll a straight d20. Or add your proficiency and your dexterity modifier.
6.
6 plus your proficiency, which I believe you guys are 3 right now.
Yes.
And your dexterity modifier should
you
be a
have,
4 or a 5.
Proficiency or expertise in lockpicking?
Well, you don't know about that. So you would have 9, 14. The pick you're using seems to be, it breaks in the lock.
Yeah. And I can't see how.
Well, as you're picking the lock, Hal, you're upstairs. You see a big hole in the floor, and Wendell kind of looking a little concerned, but a little amused at what has just happened. Along the wall, we see one bright orb, and you see a sconce without an orb. There is a table. There's a big book on a table. Talks about a war on 2 fronts, a treatise on surviving the siege. and then a table with scrolls and other paraphernalia next to Wendell.
What happened?
Igor grabbed something shiny and then he and Harlan fell through a trap in the floor.
Okay.
Igor, how could you possibly get us into a mess like this?
Just grab the shiny lamps.
Did the floor come back?
No, it doesn't. It looks like it has to manually be like you guys can climb back out if you want. It's 20 feet, but it has to manually be put back into position.
Igor, stand over here.
And he like stands up like a man with a hurt back, like really dramatic.
Wendell,
like holding his back.
out of curiosity, is going to mage hand the step back to out here. Mage hand the other orb.
You hear a click, and you can actually see the mechanism of the lock for the floor go off.
That's how it
It
works.
would have gone off with either one.
So, out of
Is it
curiosity,
still
you have
glowing
now
when
a-
it's not in its sconce?
It's a broken drift globe. It doesn't float.
Okay. Why would that book be booby trapped?
Well, it was the shiny orb that was booby trapped.
Yeah, but the floor under that one book is
But
booby
it's
Well, you see a few books over
Well,
there
let's
on the
see.
table. It's not just a
And
single
since
book.
I have
It's like
mage
an
hand
altar.
up, I will
Then
start
those
pulling
books.
things over with my mage
Right.
hand so I don't fall in the hole.
But when you look around, how it just looks like a mad scientist's study room. Things are just thrown everywhere. Things are
Yeah.
written on. There's ripped parchment all over the place.
But I also think Hal is pretty working with the class. She recognizes
Why would something
booby
be trapped
traps.
on that table?
Yeah.
Or on that side of the room, rather than
we also,
the desk.
I don't know if Wendell mentions it, but there was also, you found the spell book of Lord Vialis.
But that
on
was
the opposite
on
table.
the desk. So if
was
it
on
was
the
trying to
desk.
guard something in the desk, this trap would have been in front of the desk.
Possibly.
Most likely. So
What are you all arguing up there out of the hole?
yeah, no,
We're
Wendell
down
will
in
start
the
pulling
hole.
things with mage hand over to him and Hal. That looks like a scroll.
Harlan, at this time, that's when you hear a large commotion from the north. I'm sorry, Lamont. That's when you hear a large commotion from the north. The sound of what sounds like two people falling a long distance and talking.
Oof.
In the room?
No, to the north of you.
All right. I look that way, and I glance back at all these people, and I go, stay here. I'll be back. And I go down the hall.
Okay. You pass what looks like a little training room, and then you come to another crossroad. There's a path to the right, a path to the north, and a path to the left. But you hear noise coming from the path to the left.
Oh.
And you find Igor and Harlan in a cage looking up.
Hello, boys.
Oh.
Look,
Scared me, Lamont.
how did
Good
you?
meeting you here.
I figured you'd be on the other side of this, Lamont.
Lamont, could you open the door for us? I don't think we're climbing out of that.
Does the lock look the same?
Yes, it does. It doesn't look like a very serious lock, but it looks like a well-made lock.
Try it again.
My back
D20.
really hurts.
These locks are no joke, Igor. You might have to help me out with this one.
Does Igor at least have the shiny thing?
Yes, you do have the shiny thing. It's nice and
Igor's
bright down
happy
there with
then.
you.
Okay, well, Eagle's happy he's got the shiny thing.
It's a broken drift globe.
Broken what?
A
Broken
broken
drift
drift globe.
Okay, got it.
It glowed, but I don't drift no more.
Yep. It's just
Well,
it's just a
it's-
globe.
It's drifting me, and I can do the contactless juggling now, which is
Did you roll a d20, Lamont?
Yeah, I want to try and pick it.
Okay.
Surprised you don't have a thieves' tools on your sheet.
Roll a 7 or higher.
No, we need to get.
Literally, the DC was 15.
Oh,
It's been a while since you've used these particular tools.
sure has.
Maybe this is a style of lock you've not seen before.
He's used to ammonium locks.
You
Well,
have-
Yes.
It's
have
great
a
because he
crowbar,
needs to get.
He does have a
Excuse
crowbar.
me?
You have a crowbar.
Yeah, I got a crowbar. Hold on one second. I produce a crowbar. I believe I can.
Yes, you
Mhm.
may. It comes with your kit.
All right. Here we go. I'll pull from this side, and then you give it hell from your end. You ready?
Yes.
Okay. Just everybody give me athletics rolls. I want to average this out and see what happens. Because this is entertaining to me.
Oh, Wendell, I also found this. And I hand over the scroll that I found down below.
Interesting. It'll probably be for Harlan. He's the spellbook and scroll man.
Oh.
But I can take a
I
look.
just figured you're a magic person.
You know, it could be something I can use. But
You guys hear the wrenching of metal from below as you're chatting, and the clang as the door
we're
comes
chatting,
off
and
its hinges.
I'm mage hand pulling things like scroll. He's just pulling things off of that table because there's a big hole in the floor.
You find
and
3
organizing
books,
them.
all about equal size.
Mm-hmm.
Supposed to
And
show
so
monster
you guys are
cares.
free. The proper application of force, as we've learned in Pirates of the Caribbean, pops up at those doors every time.
Oh.
Does one of
Excellent.
these books stay on the desk because it's a stationary illusion unless you use an action to move it?
Yes, exactly. You grab the book, and the book that you were grabbing stays on the desk.
I just read your spell, dude.
and instead, you find
I'm like, oh,
the book-
Howl, a martial book. This should be good for you. Wait a minute.
you find a book
But it's still
called The
there.
Retribution of the Ancients, while the other book sits still on the desk.
what?
That must have been the trap.
You have found the book you were looking for. That was not the book you're looking for,
Real.
but this one is.
I would have.
Hey
never-
guys, we got what we need. Get those prisoners out of there, and then we can leave.
Oh, try. We'll try to get out of the cell.
I'll get all these scrolls for you, Harlan.
Thanks.
All right. I think I got it.
You wouldn't
On
believe
3.
it.
So close.
They were so close. They disguised it with an illusion. It's a
Guys,
martial book. I never would have looked twice at it if Howl
I
had
mean,
Okay.
I
the room.
would have.
We'll get the ice cream after this.
We gotta get those people out.
And only
That's
nice.
They can have ice cream too.
All right. For the sake of expediency, the other door is popped open.
Bribard.
You find out what you thought were 4 people in that room were actually 6. 2 were behind the other 4. There were 6 captives inside that cage, waiting to be sacrificed to that strange god. Yes, Wendell?
Can Wendell, before we leave this place, look at that sheet with all the weird runes around it? That was downstairs.
Oh, the ritual area.
Yeah.
Yes, you may. Do you invite Harlan to look at it as well?
Yes, we'll probably go down there with Howl, have Howl show it to me. Like, oh, Eagle mentioned a sheet
Yeah.
with runes,
Okay.
and then we can probably meet them underneath.
Okay,
Yeah,
so you
that-
all meet in
that
this
place has
really
got-
creepy room.
Some dark energy. I don't like it, and I don't recommend touching it.
Oh, good
Yes.
heavens, no, never touch cultish magic. It's awful.
This dark, dead-end chamber holds a mound of burnt bones, desiccated body parts, and skulls, all scattered across a linen sheet. It contains red-black runes across the entire outer edge marked in blood. It radiates a horrible, otherworldly energy.
Do I recognize any of the energy or the...
You actually
Magics.
recognize some of the scribblings as some of the journal pages you saw up in that study.
Oh, okay.
The ones talking about
Mhm.
summoning something from across a very far away plane.
Well, this doesn't look good. I'll pull out the journal for reference. Harlan,
Mhm.
look. These seem to be... I think he was trying to bring that terrible entity here.
You also notice that some of the runes and ritual scribings are very reminiscent of things that you've used to communicate with your particular patron, Wendell.
Well, I mean, contacting creatures from other realms is one thing. Bringing them here is a whole different thing. Especially when they want murder and sacrifices. Good heavens. How ghastly.
Sounds like some dark shit. Good
Terrible.
thing we stopped.
Yes,
Yeah.
indeed. Is
Should
there any way
we,
can...
like,
Yes.
do something about that?
Can we figure out a way to Cross out
Arcana
disable.
check.
Can I assist Harlan with an Arcana check? Because Harlan, I'd
course.
imagine, is much better than Wendell at Arcana. He'll be like,
Anyone may do whatever they choose here.
I'm gonna guidance Harlan as well. I'm gonna put a hand on his shoulder, guidance him,
Okay,
and point out.
yes, Hal,
some
what are you
things.
doing?
Can I make a religion check to see if there's a way I can
Yes, I will give you a religion check.
with my -1?
I'll give you advantage because you spoke to your god today.
Because religion is an intelligence-based thing, and Hal's dumb. So
I understand. Oh, your advantage is a 7.
7.
You tried.
Yep.
You feel the disapproving look of your god upon your soul.
Sorry.
All right. Oh, well, shit. Harlan,
And you
you know what's
yes!
going. Oh, that's
31.
a 31 with the. Wow. Okay, he rolled a natural 20 and a 4 on a d4, giving him a 31. But that's athletics.
It's the
Oh.
same. I just accidentally clicked the wrong.
It's still a natural 20. It doesn't matter. Is it a +7 as well?
Yeah, it's the same check.
Okay.
That's exact same. That's
So with a 31, Harlan, you understand that this particular ritual was very close to being completed. Once completed, with probably the bodies and the hostages you found inside this building, once completed, it would open up a rift through time and space, which would summon through the entity you imagine emblazoned in stone above the altar.
I see.
You think that ripping the linen cloth in the middle, separating the two lines of script, would release the energies. Anything else might release them much more forcefully.
So ripping the cloth would release the energies.
No. Ripping the cloth in the center, just enough to separate the script from one side, would let the energy dissipate.
Leak out. Okay.
But if you did anything else,
Alright.
it might release the energy explosively.
Please back away.
backs up.
Do you want me to do it?
I think this requires a careful hand.
Excuse you, I'm very careful.
I guidance Harlan.
You can.
But do you understand perhaps because Harlan knows how the magic works. He should.
I mean, you just gotta fuck it up, right?
No.
No.
Please, Hal, if you'd like to, it's okay.
If right about there, you should make a cut, and I run back.
Okay, right
I'll
there.
guidance Howl and run out of the room as
Okay.
well. Right behind Harlan. We're like, good job.
Lamont, what are you doing as these people run away from Harlan?
How?
Howl.
I'm sorry,
Yes.
Howl.
Yes.
All these
Oh,
H's.
rip. Right, specifically here. Small tear.
Okay.
And then,
Yeah.
So we're still downstairs, or everybody made it up?
You guys released the hostages. You came to a room where a really horrible ritual that you
Right.
had not seen before had been conducted and was
Right.
still kind of in between. Harlan identified that it was very close to actually bringing through a creature of
Right.
darkness and despair. And then he said that we can stop it with careful application of destruction in this one spot. And Hal is about to separate that spot according to the instructions of Harlan.
I got an 18 with Moonbeam.
Did I get all the prisoners upstairs?
Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, with great purpose and singular focus, he gets all 6 prisoners.
Oh, yeah, easily. And they're all very grateful.
Yeah.
Although a little wary because they imagine that you're just going to sacrifice them anyway because you look evil in all your black.
Right.
So how you strike true in the exact spot that you needed to. Harlan pointed it out and was very enthusiastic that only that space be cut. And as you do, you feel the energy begin to dissipate.
Got it.
oh,
I need to see something.
fantastic, Hal.
Yes.
Okay.
Search and scan, surprisingly.
Nothing else happens. Luckily, you used that. If you had used Clockwork Killer, there might have been trouble.
Oh.
Yes. That's why I
no?
was checking Moonbeam. I forgot. It just puts nice light out when you're
Yeah.
using it. It doesn't do anything else.
No.
But if you had done extra damage, if it had actually caused damage, it would have gone beyond what you wanted it to do, and
Yeah.
it would have
Not been
been
pretty.
bad.
Yeah, no, Hal has not touched Clockwork Killer since she fucked up that first hit and then pulled out Moonbeam and crit.
Okay.
So
Okay.
This is the
Fair.
Moonbeam Dungeon.
Yeah, it's nighttime.
Was there anything else you'd like to do inside this this wonderful speedrun dungeon that
Can we
Harlan made
topple
look silly?
that statue so that people don't come here later and be like, "Oh, what's that? We should worship it."
You could do that. Yes.
Yeah, just
I it's simple enough.
yeah.
All of you together can pull it down.
Imagine
I
Igor
believe the
probably just-
hostages would gladly help and
Mhm.
cheer as that was being done.
I don't really see why this is necessary.
Well, I don't want later people coming in and being like, "Oh, this must have been a temple to some wonderful deity," and then start worshipping the thing, and then someone else would have to come stop this all over again. It'd just nip it in the bud. I mean, sacrifices, really? Human sacrifices? Atrocious. Atrocity. Terrible.
I don't agree with that either, but anyone curious enough to know is going to, or
Well,
want to know.
people who are curious and get a hold of certain specific nomenclature are different than idiots stumbling in and deciding, "Oh, that's a statue. Let's give it things."
Hmm.
I mean, really, peasants worship practically anything that it's a statue of. I mean, it really.
I don't understand what you would call a civilized cultures.
Can we have this conversation elsewhere? I'm fucking exhausted.
Yes, we'll walk back.
Yes,
I
with
imagine
the
that there's not
six
enough room for people in the car.
with the six commoners and people from that were hostages, they
And
will
Fargo.
all and Fargo. Your carpet can't carry them all. So how do you want to split up?
Do we just want to let the hostages sit on the carpet and we can just pull it behind us?
That's a decent idea. That way they
Let
don't
them
have
relax.
to walk. Yes.
Yeah. They look pretty fucked up.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
six of
It's
them, so they
about-
should fit.
4 a.m. at this point. The moon is starting to set. There's no light from sunrise coming quite
Don't
yet.
get a good
I'll
sleep.
keep Moonbeam out so we have
But
some
the-
kind of light.
The
I'll do
hostages
the
are
lights. My
okay.
yeah.
The hostages are quite happy to be able to lay down in comfort for once. One of them pulls on Lamont's arm, since he was the one that spent so much time trying to free them. Thank you. Thank you so much. Are you taking us back to Greenfast?
Where do you need to go?
That's my home. My sister is is the mayor.
Your sister is the mayor of
mayor's
Greenfast.
sister.
Yes,
Really?
I'm sure she'll welcome you guys as heroes if you could just get us back there. The rest of these people are just travelers that were taken from the road.
Okay. Well, we're gonna get a square meal down you, and then we'll get in touch with your sister and get it all taken care of. You rest.
Okay. Thank you. And she's just still holding on
Mhm.
to
And
your cloak
food would
as she
definitely
kind
been
of
given
passes out.
from Wendell's lunchbox of holding to anyone who wanted some, because he packed enough rations for about a week.
Okay. You see some of them eating, some of them sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
Being outside is comforting to them at this point. And so the 5 of you walk along the road. Is there anything you want to do on your way back?
Go ahead.
I walk silently and allow this woman to clutch the hem of my garment and don't engage.
Okay. How?
I I like pull Wendell to the back of the group. Like behind the carpet and stuff.
I allow it.
She's just like, as we're walking, she's just like, I gotta talk to you.
Of course.
So when I was in those catacombs,
Yes.
I might have accidentally contacted Bahamut again. I
Again.
think I did that first time.
Yes, I do recall you informing me of that.
Yeah, and I mean, he said a lot of stuff, but mainly I asked him about Avum,
Mm-hmm.
and he said that our mistakes, meaning his and the other gods, are coming back to haunt us. So
Fun.
I don't think we've seen the end of this.
Most likely
And,
not. Did he have anything else to say about the matter?
No, he said essentially he was like, you have no knowledge, but you need to take care of it. And I was like, well, how am I supposed to take care of it if I don't have any knowledge? And he left like a dick.
He just said take care of it.
Yeah.
Like stop it from happening?
Yeah. Basically. Yeah.
What did I say? I said this is
Yeah, no, I think you and I were aligned.
Same page,
I think,
yes.
I think we've got the same goal right now.
which is shocking. With the warlock and the paladin of Bahamut are on the same page.
Yeah.
Anyways.
But
yes, I quite agree.
I'm not smart, and I don't know where to go from here. So
Well-
if you have any ideas, maybe that book, because it's
I
talking
think-
about ancients.
yes,
maybe
I think
Avon's in
Harlan and
there.
I should read through the book very,
Yeah.
very,
Be very
cautiously.
careful. Yeah.
Perhaps
Please don't read it in Nezrin's mansion.
I was thinking
don't-
about using the key to go to
Yeah.
the warded room in Amon.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea, because I don't want you unleashing a murder demon in Nezrin's house.
Oh,
So
trust me, you have to actually draw runes and things. It's much more difficult. It's not
Well,
easy to just
also,
pull
I mean,
one through.
I have heard of books having influence over people, like, so
Which is
you might
another
not be in
reason
control of yourself.
I wish to read it with Harlan,
Yeah.
another person there, and in the warded basement.
Yeah. That's a
I
good
feel
idea.
like that's the safest way to go about it. And I feel like we should not let the Clockwork Council get a hold of it. If they
What?
are so
Yeah,
interested
no.
in. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
I agree. 100%. Separate train of thought.
Alright.
Do you think I'm righteous?
I wouldn't say
Like,
you're
not, right? No.
I wouldn't say you're completely unrighteous. I mean, you do have these holy things now, but I wouldn't say you're like.
Yeah, but like holy's not righteous. Like there's a difference.
I feel like righteous is much more angry. So if I had to pick between holy and righteous, I would say you're more righteous than holy. Which is a compliment, to be fair.
Is it?
Again, one's
'Cause,
more
like-
angry than the other.
Because like I've done a lot of bad shit. Like bad shit.
Yes, but
Can you-
that's in the past.
Can you be righteous when you've done awful fucking things?
Well.
I mean, I don't know if asking you is the right person for this conversation, but you're the only one who knows I've talked to Bahamut, so...
Yes. Well, I would say it's righteous. I mean, based on the dictionary definition of the term, it's just morally right or justifiable. So it's less like, oh yes, holy, I do so many good things. You just do the right thing in the present. It has no... It's not a past tense. It's just like, it's, for example, you can be wealthy currently, even if you were poor in the past.
Yeah.
So you could have done terrible things in the past, and then, had a little bit of redemption fever or whatnot, and then be all righteous in the present, or at least a little righteous. I wouldn't say you're super righteous, maybe just I think you have what some people refer to as a righteous fury or wrath, like you get very angry about things that make you morally uncomfortable.
Yeah. Yeah.
So perhaps you get righteously angry about things you deem unjust.
But
Perhaps it's very niche righteousness.
Do I have that right? I mean, with the shit I've done, do I even deserve to be able to redeem myself?
Isn't that like the point of religion?
I don't know. I'm not religious.
I'm not terribly religious either, but
God,
I think
all
you're
right.
not. I
This is
wouldn't say
awkward.
no. I'd say it's just a very
Okay.
niche righteousness. Don't let
Yeah.
it. I wouldn't let it consume you or anything, because then I don't think you'd be fun to deal with.
Am I fun to deal with now?
I mean, I enjoy
I
talking
didn't
with you.
think I was.
Nezrin
Okay.
enjoys speaking with you.
Yeah, but I mean, she loves me, so
Yes, love does blind us to some things, but I feel like
Yeah.
Nezrin has a solid head on her shoulders, and if you were all like goody two shoes, holy McRighteouson, then she'd be like, "This is a bit much." I
yeah.
think you're like just got that righteous fury.
Okay, so I'm angry about things that make me uncomfortable.
Yes, morally uncomfortable.
Morally
or that you
uncomfortable.
deem
Okay.
unjust, like cultish murder. I don't
Yeah,
like
don't
it.
like that.
You don't
Yeah.
like it. It makes you angry in a holy way, which, well, at
Yeah.
least it makes you angry. And Bahamut doesn't like ritual murder either, so he probably
Right.
sympathizes with your anger and thus deems it
Okay.
righteous.
Okay.
Gods are fickle.
Yeah. Thanks, I think.
I try.
Sorry, I know you're not a
Oh, no.
religion person.
No,
I'm not a religion
I
person.
find it a
so-
fascinating topic. I don't practice it myself, but I am interested in learning about, Bahamut doesn't sound terrible.
Yeah, I mean, he's a fucking dragon. Dragons are awesome, so...
Just don't say that too loud in the mon.
Yeah, that's probably about it. I mean, every dragon I've met has been fucking
I mean,
phenomenal.
we've had a very good track record with dragons, to be fair. But
Zimmy is great.
yes,
Our
our banker.
bank, yeah,
Yes.
our fucking bank teller.
Which we shouldn't
not
talk
teller.
about too much because he'll wake up. I mean, I don't know what time it is
Yeah.
over there, but
Yeah,
don't want to disturb him.
I'll let you get back to walking.
Oh, we're just
Sorry.
walking. No, don't be sorry. I'm glad to have been a sounding board.
Say
Yeah.
that you pan over to Ramon in the dark bedroom where a grumpy old white-haired dwarf gets up. It's like, God, could you just let me? I just got to bed.
Sorry.
All right. So,
we
if
tried
there's
to
anything
mention
else,
it as vaguely as possible, but
anyone else wants to speak on the hour-long walk in the dark back to the town of Greenfest?
As we approach
God,
the
we're gonna
town,
approach at dawn and be like, "We saved all these people."
So it's about 5. So the sun is starting to come.
Okay.
You can see the
Well, it's
coloration
an hour
on the
by
horizon.
carpet, so I imagine it's a little longer by walking.
Yeah, it's about an hour.
Okay.
So,
Ow.
Sorry.
no, you're good. You go.
It's nothing important. Go ahead.
Yes, Lamont.
Wendell moves away.
One of these prisoners, one of these people, says she's the mayor of Greenfest's sister.
Okay.
So, someone should say hi to the mayor.
Why?
Because she needs to know that her sister's okay. And
I mean-
because the other prisoners will be received.
What are you trying to get at, Lamont?
Someone should say hi to the mayor of Greenfest when we hit town.
Why? Why don't we just take them to the inn and then get them food and let them go home?
Okay. And he keeps
No.
walking.
What? No, hey, Lamont, I'm serious. Why do we need to talk to the mayor?
She needs to know that her sister's okay. And because this woman asked me to tell her, that's why.
Okay, that's solid Okay. We'll take him to the inn. Since I'm assuming we'll pass on the way. Do we know if we pass like the main city on the way to the inn, or is it on the edge of town?
You come in from the south part of town, passing. Let's see, what do you pass as you go through? On the left, as you come in town, you believe that is where the manor of Lord Vialis was located.
We should check that out.
Let's see.
Yeah.
The mayor's house is actually right across the road. It's right there, right across the road from the inn that you have rooms at.
Okay, yeah, so we'll take everybody to the inn, get them settled. Do you want to go talk to the mayor? Or would you prefer if me or Wendell does it?
I'll do it.
Okay, we'll get everybody to the inn. You'll go over and get the mayor. Sound good?
Sounds like a plan.
Okay. Great.
You look tired.
I'm exhausted. I haven't slept in a lot of time.
Well, we'll cash this one in and you're going to bed.
Okay.
You need your sleep.
I mean, you do too. We all
Yeah.
do. Except Wendell.
Yeah, we all do.
With that, you walk into town. Sun starting to rise in the east, casting long, colorful shadows across the ground. You make your way into the Bulging Cauldron, which is the tavern and inn where you secured 2 rooms. The door is unlocked, but there is no one in the main room. It's easy to get everyone in when you fly them in on the carpet. The doors are wide enough that you can maneuver it through so they don't have to get off. The noise you make as you come in causes old Fargo to come stomping down from his room. Oh, hey, who's down? Oh, it's you lot.
Hey.
Morning.
I've got your son.
Oh,
He's a part of a murder cult.
oh.
Yeah.
Is he all right?
I mean, he's alive, which is more than the people, his cult sacrificed can say.
They sacrificed people there.
Yeah, you can ask all of them.
Who are they?
The prisoners that were going to be sacrificed. That one is the mayor's sister, apparently.
He kind of runs over to
I'm gonna
to where she's at.
thunk his son down
Sack
on a
of
table.
potatoes him.
Yeah. Not being gentle at all.
So he sits down by the one that's still holding on to the hem of Lamont's billowing robe, and he's like, Yada, and he kind of taps her. Is that you? Are you all right? Yada, is she alive?
She was
It's the
talking
mayor's sister.
a little while ago. She's probably tired.
She joined the cult like 2 months ago. We haven't seen anything from her. It's one of the reasons why my boy followed in her footsteps. They were friends.
How long ago did your son follow in her footsteps? Did a couple days?
A couple weeks ago.
Weeks ago. Right. Well, trying to wake her up.
She wakes up a bit. She's like, "Oh, Fargo, hey, I'm back. Have you found my sister?" "Oh no, dear. Your sister is still up at the mayoral house. You know what? I'm gonna run go get her here. Would you put my son down by the fire?"
I I mean, he's on the table. He should be fine.
Could you maybe not sit him on the table like a slab of meat, please?
I nudge Igor.
Please.
What's your favorite more to get him?
Yes.
Hal does nothing. Like, Hal,
Yeah,
like
I
in
love-
Hal's mind, this murder
Or
cultist
grab.
does not deserve warm fire in Hal's mind.
Okay.
You go, get
Fargo
him
runs
away.
out of the door in the direction of another house across the street. What are you all doing?
Igor needs some painkiller and some ice cream. It's probably too early for ice cream, but in there, maybe somebody's open. So he's gonna look to Master.
There's no ice cream open, Igor. I can see that look on your face, and I know it means you want ice cream. There's no ice cream open right now.
Master, I fell down into a pit with a ear showing.
I saw you fall into a pit. You're fine. You didn't die.
My back hurts, so I need me a chiropractor.
You probably just need a good nap, and then when you wake up, you can have some breakfast.
Fine. So,
There's
What
a
will we
room
do
upstairs if you want to go to sleep.
maybe, but what we're gonna do now that we got the Fargo here and the book.
Well, first we're not going to talk about the book, and then old Fargo is going to get the mayor. Young Fargo's unconscious, so I think we're just going to see how it plays out.
You say that, the door slams open, and an older version of the young woman on the carpet comes running in. She's got graying temples. Looks like the last few months may have been really rough on her. Yada, oh, who are you? Who are all these people? Fargo, what is going on? Why is your son tied up? You should probably ask these people. But your sister's looks to be fine.
We're group.
Business card?
Yes,
You
I
had
can see that you're a group, but
No,
who
I
are
hand her,
you?
I
No,
hand her
we
the business
are
She's looking at that.
group.
That's
you-
got to be confusing at times.
Not really.
Good
You had a
branding.
murder cult in that tower over there.
Lord Vialis' group.
Yep.
Yes. They were
What do you mean a murder cult?
sacrificial
he's murdering-
rituals? Murder?
Sacrificing people to an ancient god.
Entity, please.
Thing.
Demon?
These 6 were going to be sacrificed, but Lamont let them free and we got him out. That one joined the murder cultists. And yeah.
He tried to murder us, we did, and we
He
murdered
didn't
his
really
friends.
try to murder you guys. He thought about
Hey,
it for like 5 seconds.
So what I'm getting here is that Lord Vialis was running a cult that may have had questionable practices. He was going to
ritually
sacrifice my
sacrificing
sister.
Yep.
many people. How many
Young
sacrifices could I have estimated based on the ritual that we saw with Harlan that they've already done? Like, how many would it
Probably
be?
100.
Piles.
Around 100 people ritually sacrificed?
She seems aghast and steps back, kind of trying to find balance on a
I mean,
table.
The evidence is all still there. You guys you
Yes.
can like go and make sure we're telling the truth.
Oh
but,
no,
like-
we've been having issues with their group for some time.
Why didn't you like hire someone before we got here?
Who are we supposed to hire? The
I don't
lord of our
know.
town, the man who owns all the land, had a group of
Owned.
people. We thought they were just mercenaries for him, working as guards or things. He was supposed to be rebuilding that tower. What were we supposed to do?
I
I
mean,
mean, do you kill everyone you don't like?
no, but you can hire an investigator. Nugget, fucking stop.
Oh, look,
You can hire an investigator to, figure
right,
some
to
shit
investigate the landed lord of your area.
out. Yeah,
Do
if
you know
they-
how
if
far- how well
people are
that's gonna
going
go?
Missing, yeah.
No one's gone missing. It was just people from the town.
You haven't seen your sister in 2 months. That's missing.
Man, she was working a lot. That's not necessarily missing. I knew where she was. I
Have
knew
you
why
heard
she
from
chose
her?
to do there. Where did these other 100 people come from? We're a small town.
Most likely travelers on the road that would have passed through, but didn't quite make
You
it.
see some of the other people on the carpet nodding. Well, did you capture any other than, did you capture Lord Vialis?
No, he's dead.
So young Fargo is the only survivor of all the townsfolk that were working for Lord Vialis. You slaughtered the sons and daughters and husbands and mothers.
Self-defense. They had grells there as well.
They did try to kill us.
Tentacled, brained, beaked creatures.
They were doing all sorts of magic with like skulls and stuff, and there was like bones and people were cut open.
Would you guys mind staying here for a little while? I'm going to take my sister back to my house and speak with her for a little while.
Certainly.
Perhaps you can wash the blood off of your clothing in that time.
I wanna
Igor.
follow her.
Igor gets the feather duster out.
What did you say, Lamont?
I want to follow her.
You see her walk her sister into her home, which is right across the street.
I would
and close
just
the door.
watch them. I just watch them.
Okay.
And,
They're right across the street. It's like maybe 100 feet away.
okay. I just stand there and look at them. And he thinks real hard about scaling that building and then goes back inside.
It's a 2-story. You could probably almost jump to the roof with your skills. It'd be a waste of a good grapple.
Okay, right. He just goes back in to continue to eavesdrop on the rest of the party.
Okay.
Elle
So-
does not clean herself off.
Don't
Okay.
worry, I'll clean you off.
No,
It's
Leave
free,
it.
It's free service for everybody.
later, but because she wants it, I'm not going to do it.
Igor continues to clean himself, Master Harlan.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right. About an hour passes. Each of you have a point of exhaustion now, as it is the next day.
Igor's back pain
Except,
is
well,
stronger.
Even Wendell, because he hasn't had a chance to kind of meditate on his work yet. So everyone is exhausted.
He hasn't been doing just low activities.
Right.
Yeah.
And the mayor comes back without her sister, and she looks disturbed. My sister has confirmed all that you say, and while I may not agree with your methods, I deem them more than likely necessary. I will speak with the rest of the town, and we will destroy all aspects of that temple. We'll bring the tower down.
Would be advised. We did topple the main effigy, but there are many other smaller things that should probably be dealt with.
We'll call in some priests to try and consecrate the ground, because who knows what sort of strange creatures might dwell deeper within that place or around it.
In the catacombs, there are 4 piles of bodies. I've already done what I can to lay the souls to rest, but you should probably take care of those.
Thank you. Who do you worship? If you don't mind me asking.
Bahamut, Platinum Dragon.
She kind of gives you a different sort of look, more of a reverential look. You might think she may be an adherent, possibly. You don't know. Well, our town is very poor, and we've lost quite a few people to this
We didn't
happening.
do this for any kind of compensation. Just be more mindful in the future. Check in on your loved ones, even if you
Easier
think
s-
they're fine.
Easier said than done, but yes,
Now, I
we'll
believe
try.
Lord Vialis had someone working under him, elf named
Farrell.
Yes, he will most likely be. I imagine he'll be arriving later today.
That it's about time for him to return. Do you believe he's been tied up in this as well?
I don't know how he couldn't not know.
It would be very surprising if he was not.
Oh. Well, if you would perhaps try to apprehend him and his men, we would let you have anything you find in the Lord's house
We
as
will do our
compensation
best
for the
to-
danger.
Apprehend him. His men, I believe, were. I don't believe they're involved. They seem more hired bodyguard types, so they most likely don't know the situation. But
All the men that Farrell has with him are from the Lord's encampment.
Oh, well then yes, they probably know. We'll do our best to apprehend him.
Good. Let me know when you have him captured
thinking
or
that.
or if you've taken care of him. I will be in the mayor's manor with my sister. She walks out, and you see
Maybe give
Woodside,
like a slight bow, like a here. Oop.
and she just she nods and walks away. Old Farrell is over there trying to untie young Fargo, not Farrell, young Fargo, old Fargo, all the Fargos.
Well, Fargo. No, I'm kidding.
All right, Igor, where's that feather duster?
But we're gonna hold still. Lift up your arm. And he's
Thank
like getting
And
all the crevices.
With that, as you're planning on trying to take care of Farrell when he returns to town, we'll call it there for the evening, as that will probably be a combat more than likely.
Yeah.
And we'll take some time, and we're at our point now where we need to call it for the evening. So we'll go around and see where we can find everyone, what they're doing, and what they thought about this evening, and the madcap adventures that we had therein. We'll start with our returning Scion of Darkness, Lamont Quinlan.
Oh, I don't know. Hi. You know, we have a lot of fun around here on Mondays in Exandria. But seriously, love your fellow man. Hi, I'm producer Trev. My favorite part was somebody told Lindy to get Howl, and Lindy's like, "Oh, okay." And it's just precious. Lindy's character's ongoing weird crushes on Becky's characters. Hi, and food, obviously, and Frank attempting to herd cats, ladies and gentlemen. That is what this game is a system of cat herding done by our friend Frank. I'm producer Trev. What are we doing? We're gonna play Ravenloft tomorrow. Hoping for some teeth and aliens later this month. We like aliens. We're gonna see some of them maybe and do stuff. And that's great. I'll be here tomorrow night. You guys, thank you all for watching. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's go to Harlan Flipcloak as he failed to recover the book he was trying to grab.
Yes, that's me. I'm D20 Coup de Grace. You can find me playing here Mondays, Tuesdays, and sometimes on Saturdays for an Alien game. Well, yes. I mean, I wouldn't call it my favorite part. Probably the most frustrating part was, yes, when Igor came in there and just screwed everything up for me.
You probably would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for Igor being like,
I put so much effort into trying to do it as smooth as possible.
And I would have gotten away for it if it wasn't for that meddling Igor.
That meddling Igor!
And you knew it was coming when I'm like, Igor, there's sparkling lights and the sconces on the wall.
And the cats, like, you know, when a cat sees a toy, they go,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's the same thing. Yeah.
Yep.
Is it? But yeah, thank you for the game.
Thank you too. Enjoyed it a lot. But speaking of cats chasing shiny objects, Igor, anything else to say?
Yeah, that's me. Yeah. No, Shiny Pilot 206 here from Mondays, Tuesdays. And for aliens, sorry for ruining that for you. Hard, I'm sorry about that. But come on, the shinies. You gotta go for the shinies. And Igor hurt his back, and maybe we're gonna make it up to you for like ice cream or something.
Each have your characters to play.
Yeah. So anyways, yeah, thank you everybody for watching. I just had a fun time being here with that.
Excellent. And before we get to me and Laugh Love Lindy, we'll go to Hal, who had an interesting moment today. And I love how hard she was on people who have committed murder and bad things in the past. Like, there's no redemption at all for anyone.
Nope.
Talk about righteous, self-righteous, maybe. I don't know.
Once you've done bad things, that's it. Because in her mind, that's how she sees it for herself. Like, she's done really bad shit, and she does not deserve that redemption. So she sees that for everybody. Hi, I'm Nugatosaurus. I play Hal, the Shifter Fighter / Paladin. Tomorrow, I'll be playing Ambara Vanastra. She had a fucking mental breakdown last week, and I was crying because Ambara means a lot to me, and hopefully that doesn't happen tomorrow. We'll see. You can also find me here on the occasional Saturday playing Violet, the synthetic human, who now has 3 xenomorphs, is in charge of 2 ships that she has hacked into and has a lot of control over, and has resurrected the clone of one of her sisters, maybe? Well, I don't know what's going on. It's a fucking riot. I love it. Favorite parts? I have a couple. Igor going after shiny things. Just fucking love it. Harlan trying so hard to get that book and just barely failing because of Igor. Lamont actually saving the people in the behind bars in the prison. Like, I was not expecting that from Lamont. And then it's not a game moment, just Lindy in chat while I was talking, or someone was talking, saying, "Don't forget about the prisoners." And I completely forgot about the prisoners. So I
saw you
two laughing, and I thought I had said something.
Yeah,
and I'm like, what did I? Because I just described the bulbous creature, and I thought maybe I mixed up a couple words and said something really bad.
No, it was me going, make sure you don't forget the prisoners, and then the look on Nugget's face going like,
I was going, oh shit,
like, I totally forgot.
Yeah, so.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good. And
all
also,
good parts.
Frank, thank you. Like, I don't say it enough. I hate Mondays. I love this game. You do an amazing job as a DM. I would not be able to have these amazing moments with Bahamut if it were not for you. So, thank you.
You're welcome. I appreciate it. Yeah, and since it's my turn, I guess I'll just go ahead and go after the effusive praise. It makes me a little uncomfortable here. Thanks. Yeah, I'm Deception Check, the guy who is trying to figure out how to follow that one nice words told about him. You see me here Mondays, herding cats, as Travis said, and doing nice things, as Nugget said. And then on Tuesdays I play a head in a jar. At this point, that's great. And I'm not a president, so it's kind of a letdown. I figured if I got to be a head in a jar, I'd be a president on a cartoon, but
you are nobility.
Well, I know that, but it's not the same thing.
Sorry.
Sorry. Yeah, and now we have to do the same thing over and over and over and over and over. It's gonna be Groundhog's Day, but horrible.
It could just be one time. I don't know how y'all are gonna do.
It's our group, and we're antagonistic. Not gonna go well. And also on Fridays or on Saturdays for Aliens, where we have it, where I play Hank Granger and hate everything that Violet 6 is doing. Yeah, that's great. And other projects coming soon. Announcements to be made when announcements are made, if announcements are made. I don't know. That's not cryptic at all. Favorite parts, Harlan doing everything he can to try and get that book. Me breaking it by telling Igor there's shiny things on a wall, knowing there's a trap there. Hal just not knowing how to talk to her god. I love that. That's why I keep wanting her god to talk to her, because that's just wonderful. And Lamont always just trying to understand what's going on and being like just a step behind. It's like he has moments of brilliance, but they're always like a moment too late. And I love that about Lamont. And we have some fun stuff coming up soon with Lamont too, which is going to be really fun. And then of course Wendell. What can you say about Wendell, Eustace, Abernathy, Lucius, Throckwaddle, Hassenpfeffer the Fourth of the Havisham Hassenpfeffers, other than he's a slumlord winery owner that is disappearing people, but that's what Lamont says. So I don't know, is that true? Is it?
I love how in denial. So favorite moments. One of them is how in denial Lamont is about Wendell and his motives, and like how he thinks Hal is the victim here who has been misled. Not that they're both just telling the truth and he could go to this winery and see for himself, and that Hal's been to this winery and seen for himself, but no. It's just terrible, just awful, just the worst, and it's all Wendell's fault. And Wendell's like, I could take you there. Like, we could just go and clear this whole thing up. But, yeah, I just love how single, and like the little voice, of Artificer Lamont's like, but he does have a winery though. And the rest of Lamont's just like, nah. He's the
Fuck
worst. And it just tickles me, and I cannot wait for Lamont to see that it actually is that this specific aspect is totally benign. It actually is just people getting jobs and stuff and working, and it's just a multiple level solution to multiple different problems. That makes Wendell look really good. Other favorite moments. I love how Howl comes to Wendell every time she has like a religious moment or like a personal thing she needs to discuss. Like, oh man, there's this thing happening. I don't know how I feel. And Wendell's like, all right, well, let's try to talk this out. Not that I know much about religion, but you're a nice friend. I appreciate you, so I will try to help you out, even if you are a bit misguided. So I guess Wendell and Lamont both think that poor Hal's a little misguided, but for completely different reasons. And, just trying to help her out. And of course Igor with the shiny things. It's just, of course Igor would. And poor Harlan, because Wendell's gonna be like, so why were you so uncomfortable in that room earlier? And what did you cast? Because it wasn't identify. I don't know. It's gonna be, we'll just have to see. We'll have to have that conversation. But he doesn't know that Harlan's a turncoat, not a flip coat. And does want to look through the book with Harlan to see what it is about, because, we don't fully know, and we both want to understand why. Because, science. So yeah, those are my favorite moments. They were super fun. I loved all of it. Can't wait for next week. And yeah, so just come watch us here every Monday for Wanderlust and Wildemount, because it's a lot of fun. Get into some shenanigans. And tomorrow, Ravenloft. Azalin is sending them back in time to the wedding at Castle Ravenloft, but before Strahd's a vampire. So they get to witness that moment. He snaps at his brother and the love of his life's wedding and just murders everyone an infinite number of times. And of course, there's no consequence every time they don't succeed or anything. There's no penalty for that or anything, because that wouldn't be 2nd edition Ravenloft, or anything like that. And so, yes, definitely come check that out tomorrow, because I'm curious to see how many times they're going to attend this wedding and how many things they learn or find out or influence, potentially. I don't know. We'll have to see. But they are heads in jars, so just kidding. Sit back. It's like Groundhog Day, but way more fucked up. And of course, later this month, we will have our once-a-month campaign of Aliens, and it'll be super exciting. We've got 2 guests, and they're both awesome, and I just can't wait to see where it goes. We're heading towards some black egg. That doesn't sound ominous and terrifying at all. And yeah, just stay tuned for further announcements for further things, because it's gonna be a lot of fun. Thank you all so much for watching, and until next week, have fun and play games.